All right, welcome to another Crossroads podcast, number 58. And we're the hosts. I'm Jake Ryan. This is my boy, James the Fountain. What's up, brother?
What's up, dude?
Just another day. It's a Sunday. We're doing a little earlier podcast. How's your Sunday going?
Pretty good, man. Woke up hella early,
I
like
didn't. I woke
always.
I woke up at like 9:30, which is not early for me anymore.
Right.
I usually wake up at like 6.
Yeah. Dude, I'll be waking up at crazy times.
And like actually waking up?
Getting up at like 3 and 4 and shit.
What?
Well, if I have my alarm set for 4,
Uh-huh.
so I could have some time before work.
Mhm.
Cause I like to like cook breakfast and shit, you know.
True
But
that.
but
Go for a
so
mile
I'll be
jog.
waking
Just
up.
kidding.
Yeah, dude. Fucking go do some Tai Chi at the park.
Hey man, that would be a great start to the day though.
I mean, I have a shit ton of time. I've been trying to like work on, come to the studio in the morning, like instead of like because I'll just wake up and have some coffee, and instead of watching TV or something, I'll come sit at the studio and just fuck around with some shit.
Yeah, dude, that's always good. Well, I guess we'll get into the intro for the start of it. But before we do
Or
that, dude, I was gonna tell you like, I'll wake up like an hour before I'm supposed to wake up, you know,
mm-hmm.
and be like, sweet, I have like an hour to like get some rest. And dude, one day my wife woke me up at like 3:33, but she like clawed my back, and
Right.
she was like asleep.
Yeah.
And I was just like, "Oh my god, what are you doing?" And she was like in a weird state of sleep where she was kind of like hallucinating.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was like, "Whoa, okay, you're like in between
Dreaming.
reality and a dream." Yeah.
Oh, right.
And it happens to her all the time, but I was like, 3:33. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But
I don't know.
because some people be like, "That's the devil's hour." But I guess
3:30.
3:30. Yeah. Well, all right.
Dude.
What up?
Oh yeah. I forgot. Run it.
I'll
Run
run
the
it.
intro.
All right. Yeah. Speaking of the devil, go to the old Crossroads intro. One of my faves. You did an awesome job on the sound.
I don't hear it. I didn't hear none of that.
What? Are
Yeah.
you kidding me? I messed it up again, dude. I swear. All right. Dude, I don't know why it doesn't automatically share the sound.
There's a place where deals are
There we
made
go.
and legends are
You boys know what to do. Sure, we know what to do. And that is not to let the devil know anything.
What did, what did you make that in?
Sony. Like a Sony Vegas studio.
Right.
But yeah, I just took a bunch of clips from the internet. I do have Adobe Premiere,
Mm-hmm.
but I need to upgrade my graphics card because for some reason with Premiere, sometimes it'll like overheat my GPU.
Yeah.
But You're
That's
using
just
FL
dope.
Studio like usual, I'd imagine, for the audio.
Yeah.
My favorite digital audio workstation.
Yeah, I've never really tried anything else, so I'm like, I would like to try something though. I want to try out Ableton or like Anthony was using Logic. I just feel like it'd be good to know other programs, you know?
Yeah. I mean, they're all kind of just the same. I feel like just rearranged differently.
For sure.
But FL Studio one day just clicked for me, and especially when it came down to, I used to just do it for making beats
Mm-hmm.
until you showed me that you can just record like vocals and instruments through it as well with the
Right.
multi-track system, and I was like, oh dude, I'm just gonna use this purely. And then I bought it, so I was like, because before I was pirating,
Yeah.
but it would just mess up my stuff too.
Yeah.
Might mess up my computers or not work properly, be glitches,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it was just not ideal. Plus, I seen a dude, Curtis King, has a YouTube channel. He's a producer, and
Yeah.
he said that one time he was doing like tutorials, and FL Studio hit him up and was like, "Hey, we can see that you're using like a pirated version."
No way.
Yeah, so just bought it, and especially once I was like, "Oh, I'm selling some beats. I might as well
Yeah.
should buy it."
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, they'll find you, man.
yeah, dude. I try to be good with all that type of stuff nowadays, and I don't mind paying for stuff at all. Um,
Right.
Splice, I still use Splice. I've been getting charged for Splice. I have like
Mm-hmm.
a few months racked up of points.
Dude, okay, so I was just going through my Splice today because it was
Hmm.
the same thing. I was like, I have all these, I was about to cancel it, and I'm like, I have all these credits, but once you cancel it, you can't use those credits. So I'm like
Yeah.
going through and just downloading like everything. So I'm gonna try to use up all those credits before
I
next
know.
month.
I've thought the same thing where I was like, I should cancel because I'm not using it as much, and I have a bunch already,
Yeah.
like in my computer that I'm like, dude, I haven't got to using these yet. Um,
Also, it's like new sounds is always good, but if you have too much, it's like I don't know. It's
Overwhelming.
especially if it's yeah, Splice does it, I don't know. You kind of have to go through and like clean it up after you download shit, you know, and like because
Hmm.
it doesn't really organize it that well. It's like everything is in its own folder, like 5 folders deep just for one fucking sound. Like
Oh, I know. Some of them aren't like that. Like it'll be like you open this one folder and it's got like a bunch, but then the other ones will be like you say, you got to click into this folder, into this one, into this one, into this one, and it'll be like
well,
just
I
a
was trying
one hit.
I was trying to fucking download like the whole pack, you know, because they'll put out like a whole pack of sounds. And I'm like, I couldn't figure out how to download the whole pack.
What? You
I was just
can.
doing it, yeah, because that
It's
would
like
save a
right
lot of
up at the
time.
top.
I didn't see it. I looked.
Oh, dang. I think there's like a download all button. But I'll separate it into like loops. Like you can choose the one shots or loops.
Yeah.
But I don't really use the one shots that much. Because I'm
Hmm.
like, I usually just use my own. And if I'm looking,
Right.
because I just like using drum loops
Hmm.
and maybe some melody loops, you know.
Right.
That's pretty much it. Even like, but I mean, I just like getting boom bap beats, trap beats. I mean, I've gotten them all. I'll get like rock beats.
Yep.
I don't know. What are you usually trying to get on there?
I mean, I'll just be getting stuff that sounds Good. I'll be getting it all, dude. Whatever's like just sounds like it might be inspiring, you know.
Yeah,
I like the one shots, because I'll be like mixing a bunch of those sounds in there for like texture, you know, little different perks and drums and shit like that.
I got one that was like a bunch of little vocal samples of Riff Raff.
Hmm.
I haven't even got
That's
around to
dope.
using it, but I was like, oh, this will be fun to play with, and
Was it like just a cappella him rapping or something?
yeah, and it'd be like almost like just like a word or two, you know, not like a
Right.
full
Okay.
rap. Um,
Dude, I I did this song. There's this actually, I think you might have known about him from me, that Lil Turbo,
mhm.
because I was like, what happened? I tried to get a feature with him and he just rapped over the whole song or something like that.
All right.
But he was doing this thing where he was like giving out his acapella track and then having people like make the beat around it, you know.
Mhm.
But I did that and I was like, dude, this is actually super dope. And the beat turned out pretty dope too. Like, man,
Nice.
I'd like to get a hold of some more of that shit, you know, just a bunch of different acapella tracks to work with.
Oh yeah, dude, that'd be dope. Well, I guess we were gonna talk about something like that, like some of our top favorite rappers or vocalists or producers.
Mhm.
I mean, rappers would be a fun one.
Yeah,
If you want to talk about some of our favorite rappers.
let's do it.
All right, well, who's going first? Me or you?
How about you?
Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna kind of go with the top 10-ish. We didn't write anything down, so I guess we're just gonna kind of wing it.
Mhm.
But I would say probably one of my favorite. I would have to say Riff Raff is one of my favorite rappers. So I could probably put him higher on the list, but I'll just put him as a top 10. And I love Riff Raff because he's so weird,
Yeah,
and his vocabulary is just like nobody raps like Riff Raff.
right.
And he he'll actually freestyle like when he was on like a radio show or something, you know.
Yep,
But dude, when I
he
met Riff
does.
Raff, so he was like smaller, athletic figure, you know.
Hmm.
And then when I met him, he was like fucking wrestler size.
Yeah,
I was like,
big
oh my,
body.
dude, I was intimidated for sure.
But he was pretty cool, right?
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, it was a wild night. That night kind of just made me feel like a little bit closer to, like dreams becoming a reality, because it's that whole thing of like seeing somebody on a screen on your phone, and then when they're in the flesh, you know. Plus, he's such a
For
cartoon
sure.
character, like
He's a
the
trip.
his grills, his hair. Yeah.
When I listen to Riff Raff, it reminds me of when I lived in uh Washington with Cody,
Uh-huh.
because I was just like super into him then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would just bump him all the time. And Cody would be like getting pissed because he'd be like, dude, we're fucking here to make metal music.
Oh right, yeah.
You know, like, because I'd be like bumping it, you know, or whatever. And um yeah, but eventually he was like, dude, he was listening to Riff Raff too.
Yeah, Riff Raff's rad.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Now,
All right.
who comes to mind for you?
So hmm, uh I'm not gonna do like in any certain order again.
Yeah,
I'll
true
just
that.
but I'll go with Mac Miller.
Great choice.
And for sure, if it was a top 10, like he'd be up there on my list.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, like it's like I always listen to like rap shit growing up just from like my older siblings and cousins and shit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like listening to it on my own and like really discovering artists and shit, yeah, for sure Mac Miller was like the one that really got me into it, which
Mac's
is
dope.
crazy because it's like, you know, it's like a white kid.
Yeah, but he could flow,
But yeah,
like, and he had a really good, like, just flow in his words. Plus I'm like, yo, he's like a freestylist, you
mhm,
know, and he could actually play instruments,
for sure.
which I love that. Like that
Yep.
he would also get into the production side.
Yeah, dude. Um, this is kind of sidetracked, but just before we started this, I was watching Justin Bieber making beats in the studio.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I bet they're dope
It's-
because I remember seeing him as a kid, like playing the drums.
yeah, dude. He's pretty talented. The shit he was making was pretty dope.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, people talk trash on the Biebs, but I think he's dope. And
Well,
I would hear him doing some rapping too.
yeah, he was doing some kind of rap and shit. It was like kind of like melodic rap type shit, but it got me thinking. I was like, man, I wonder how much like time these artists are just in the studio just making shit that like they can't release, you know.
Probably a lot. And I hear a
Even
lot
if
of
they
people get
wanted to.
upset about that.
Hmm.
Like, but I'm like, that's the deal.
For
Like,
sure.
if you, I think that's also why people would create like maybe some other aliases. But there's probably that in the contract too, where oh, you can't even have like a side project. Um,
Yeah.
or like Prince. You know, I remember hearing he had to have like a whole bunch of records he was obligated to record, and then he would just like bang them out
Yeah.
when he was just like, dude, I'm just not happy with my record deal. So,
For sure.
but Mac
Hmm.
Miller, I loved how his evolution through the
Yeah.
years. You know, his last album was probably one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And yeah, rest in
For
peace,
sure.
Mac Miller. That was super sad.
Yeah, man, that's like one of the few, I don't know, just like notable people that like really got me sad, you know.
Yeah, Lil Xan got a huge tattoo on his face, like a big black blobby teardrop.
Hmm.
I think that was an like a tribute to Mac Miller. I don't know why, but
Really?
yeah. But I mean, I've
Hmm.
never really got into Lil Xan that much.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody has. Just
No.
kidding.
Yeah. I mean, Miley Cyrus' little sister, I guess.
I mean, dude, I mean Mac or Lil Xan was gonna be next on my list.
Is he?
Just no, just
Oh,
kidding.
okay. Well, I mean, it
No.
definitely makes me think of, and since it's in no particular order, I'm sure that you and I would probably both agree with, like, Lil Peep being on the list.
Hmm.
Probably be higher up, you know.
For sure.
And you got tattoos. You got what? You got the crybaby tattoo
Yep.
on your neck,
Yeah. Hmm.
like the dove or something.
Yep.
Dude, that's dope.
Hmm.
Yeah, when I first seen Lil Peep, I was kind of like, what? For some reason, I had this initial thought of like, I don't know if I like this guy, but I think it was because I liked him so much.
You wanted, yeah. I want to be you.
Yeah, it was like it was good to see somebody with more of that punk rock kind of grunge aesthetic going on.
Yeah, it's kind of the same reaction with Riff Raff too. It's like you almost don't want to like them. There's something about them that like you almost don't want to like.
Their authenticity.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of what it is too, is like, there's just being a human being, like there's gonna be shit that people don't like about you, and kind of just embracing that and making that part of who you are, like who you present yourself as, it's like there's, and especially if you're like, yeah, kind of like punk rock about it or like loud with it, then people are for sure going to have that reaction right away. But that's kind of the point, is like, you have all these tattoos and you have colored hair and shit, and then people that judge you for it, you're like, dude, like, okay, fuck you anyways, like,
Right.
And it usually turns out that like, a lot of people in the punk scene and like metal scene and like heavy aggressive music, they're like pretty cool people.
Yeah, for sure. It's, of course I loved it when that wave of music started hitting, and I love to produce that type of music that's like kind of like sad, emo, trap, um, but can still be like hard at the same time.
Mhm.
And I don't know, he probably wasn't like the first to do that or anything, but for some reason I feel like he became like one of the main people that people one of the main persons that people noticed doing it.
Mhm.
I don't know.
I think it was just one of those things where the stars aligned.
Plus, unfortunately, it was one of those things again where I feel like he, of course, he was getting really big before he passed, but
Mhm.
after he passed, I feel like he got even bigger.
For sure, dude.
And all those people that probably were hating on him were like, actually, I really love this guy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, man. Rest in peace, him too.
yeah, rest in peace, Peep. I love to see his new music come out still.
Yeah, that's that's always tricky, but I I feel like you know, it's being handled pretty okay, I think.
Well, yeah, that's what you always got to wonder, right? Is like who's making the money off this and who, because that's the thing that scares you sometimes about record labels. I would think is like you could be worth more to the record labels dead than alive, possibly.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Who would you do you want to say somebody next?
No, I'm good. I'm done.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. Um, let's see. Sorting rappers, right?
Mhm.
Um, I'll go with fucking Kanye, man.
Oh, the G. I love Kanye.
He's he, he's just one of those people that are like, it's kind of the same thing, It's like you either love him or hate him,
Mhm.
but he's fucking insanely talented.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, just probably like one of the most influential rappers of the past 20 years, easy.
Yeah, and again, like the producing aspect, but like people are like, oh, he's got a big ego. I'm like, yeah, But if he didn't have that ego,
See, I don't know, man. People will hear shit and then just say that. And like, yeah, of course he is cocky. Like, he's fucking crazy, man. He's
he is
like,
actually
yeah,
crazy.
he's literally mentally ill. Which most people are, like, have some form of, you know, mental illness,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's like really manageable or not. And sometimes for him it's manageable, you know, and like see him doing okay or whatever, and sometimes he just goes off the rails.
Dude, and I can really relate to that with like kind of the bipolar manic depression or even like narcissism
Dude, just
where
imagine being that famous.
it'd be so hard. And
No.
I think almost like one of the things I could relate to in that aspect of when you're an artist and you feel like sometimes it's not even just like something you want to do, like, oh, I want to be a rapper or I want to produce and get famous and get rich. It almost feels like something you, or for me too, like you need to do or you have to do, or if you feel like this is what God like made me to do. Feels like a destiny thing. And that's what could
Right.
give you that over. Some people would say it's like, oh, it's your narcissism. Like, oh, you think you're so special? Like, why do you think that you are, um, like when Kanye would say things like, I'm a god, you know?
Yeah. I mean, just like imagine how easy it is though, just to like he's fucking trolling people for sure. Like people get so mad. And that's the annoying thing too, is like everyone says the same thing. Like he's just too cocky. He's got a big ego. Like, you know, it's just one of those things where it's trendy to hate Kanye. And most people that like we're like, oh fuck Kanye, I don't like him, or they're like, I've never heard a Kanye song in my life. You know, people that are like proud to have never heard of somebody, you know, like
Yeah. And I honestly do like it how much he gets into like God and Jesus and like his spirituality will go like just like off the Richter scale.
right.
Like it's not just like, yeah, like I believe in God and Jesus and I pray to him. It's like, no. Like
Yeah.
like he totally embodies it and it's like a drug to him where it's like, dude, my cup is overflowing with Jesus, okay?
Yeah. Yep.
And
For sure, man.
it's just really it's kind of inspirational how somebody could go that into it with like no fear of what other people think, you know.
For sure, dude. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I agree though, like, you know, being like a normal human being, and like we said, like he is mentally ill, so like being bipolar, manic depressive or whatever, like those manic moments you are going to be like, you know, larger than life and shit
Mm-hmm.
like that. So, but you know, I've always been more attracted to just humble people that like, you know, they don't talk it so much.
Yeah, dude, I've been actually kind of struggling with stuff recently on those kind of things with because I've been on medication,
Right.
to manage my manic bipolarness. And sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I want to be on these. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, I want to go back to being like who I am, just normal.
Hmm.
Maybe I like it more. Maybe that's the way, so I struggle with that of like just wrestling with that idea of are these things numbing me out or are they, you know, being beneficial to keep me on like a level plane, you know, instead of,
Right.
yo, I'm like going crazy up here and then
Mm-hmm.
crashing down.
Right. Yep.
But just wrestling with like the old me, and even when it comes to sobriety and stuff like that, and being like, you know, so I mean that's something that inspires me when I see rappers that, even like Eminem,
Yep.
who I would put probably pretty high up on the list too, for me personally.
Well, it's my turn. Just kidding.
Is it?
I
I thought you said
no.
Kanye.
Yeah. Just kidding.
uh, just because of like the sobriety stuff is inspirational too. Not only like, oh yeah, his lyrics and the entendre rapping
Yep.
or the character and the person, but when you can see somebody go from I'm crazy off the rails doing like all sorts of substances to yo, I finally cleaned up my act and I'm still able to work my craft.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
inspirational to me. What
Definitely,
do you think
man.
about Eminem? You're like, I fucking hate him. No.
Um, no, but like, I mean, what I loved him when I was younger,
Mm-hmm.
and still will always have that that love for him.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a new world, and I think even he's still probably learning how to like adapt. And I feel like as long as you're trying, and but for sure, like I have a lot more favorite artists. Like I might put him on the list just because of like what I said, like I grew up with that shit.
Right. Yeah, that
But
probably made me feel like I could be a rapper. Just because
right,
like Eminem was a rapper, and he's like, oh, white guy. Where again, where some people would say that, oh, even with like the blues or hip hop music, where they're like, yo, this was based in the African American community, like created this, came from that culture, and the white man's trying to steal it and profit off it.
right.
Or Elvis Presley, they're like, yeah, he stole all these from the black
Mm-hmm.
community and just
Well,
stuff
I
like
mean,
that.
yeah, there's this whole thing since Drake just put out his last project because
His
it was like
last. Oh, you mean his most
latest.
recent? Okay.
Yeah. It's like kind of dancey Afro beat type shit.
Mm.
And of course on Twitter, people got to make a fucking, debate about everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy how fast shit catches on to, like you'll see it in like these viral tweets where it's got like fucking 50,000 likes or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be like y'all forgetting that well, I won't say it like that, but it'll be like, I
You
mean,
mean that
some of
tone
them
of
will.
voice and that
No,
lingo?
yeah, but it'll be like people forget that black people invented dance music, and so it's like a lot of
I thought he was black.
who, what?
Drake. Oh, being like, yo, he can do that because it.
No, like just the origins of it. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's not even anything that someone is talking about, but someone will just start an argument, be
I
you
mean, the
motherfucker, you
origins of us
forgot.
all. I thought we all came from Africa.
Straight up. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, dude, but yeah, like I listened to that project and I was like, dude, I love this shit. Like just
So
that
Drake is
rhythm,
your
man.
next one then?
What?
Or no?
Oh,
Would you say
maybe.
or no? On
I mean, like if we're just talking about like our favorites and shit, right? Like,
yeah,
because it's not like the top 10 skilled lyricists of all
no,
time.
just our
Um,
favorites.
yeah, dude, I'll go with Drake. Um, he's another one like Kanye, man. It's like you can't just hate somebody just because they're famous, you
And
know.
Kanye picked him up. No,
Dude,
Lil
yeah,
Wayne
he's
did.
or yeah, I
Yeah.
disagreed with you without but yeah, like he's just I mean, he can do it all. He's still dropping hits. He's like the richest motherfucker in the world. His his house looks like a fucking museum or like a palace, dude. Like he lives in a palace.
Dang.
Like which is crazy. But yeah, man. Like I fuck with this rap shit heavy. Just like
His
if you're reading this, it's too
interesting.
late.
What do you
That
mean?
whole project is it's just one of his projects, but it's just like mainly rap type shit.
Not his newest one. That one's
No, it
more
came out a while
dance.
ago. That one actually came out when I was living with Cody too,
Hmm.
because I remember when it dropped, I was just like, because he just dropped it out of nowhere. He didn't do any promo or anything. He
Oh,
just dropped
nice.
it. But yeah, that shit goes hard.
That's what's cool about him is he has that ability to like do the hard rap music and do like pop kind of R&B stuff for like women where I'm like
Right.
he has a huge fan base of females and males.
Yep.
So, that's money right there.
I mean, I think there's music that only dudes listen to, but I don't know if there's any music that only chicks listen to. You know what I'm saying? Like if a girl fucks with it, then the guys will be like, all right, yeah, we'll check it out too.
Dude, that's why I've been thinking of even cuz I'm like, okay, I'm going to get back on my promo with XROADZ music since I'm rebranding everything and
Yep.
I've been thinking I was like, dude, I should mainly market this to females even.
What, this podcast?
Yeah. And no, the
I
music and
did.
stuff like music
Oh,
videos and cuz I'm like, well, or more to the females because like you say if the women like it, the men are going to like it. Plus I'm like, what? Am I going to show a bunch of dudes my music and they're just going to think this fucking guy, you know? Like most guys don't
uh-huh.
like other guys. Like if they feel they might feel a sense of say they want to be doing that, like they want to be a rapper or making music videos, putting on shows. Are they initially going to like you? There might be a little bit of envy or jealousy, or they're inspired by you.
Hmm.
But I feel like a lot of like women, they're not going to have that type of outlook of like, I want to be that person or do what they're doing. They'll just be like, oh, I either like it or I don't. And,
Right.
or they're like, I think he's cute.
Yeah.
Some guys out there might think that too. But, yeah, I don't know. That's just the hard thing about other guys is that I feel like there's an initial, like, alpha male thing going to be going on. Like,
I can see that.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I never thought about it like that.
It
I
just
mean,
recently clicked for me like that.
yeah, I don't know if I agree necessarily. Because I mean,
What? You don't
I
agree?
think
I'm just kidding.
right. You're fucking kicked off the
Yeah, no,
podcast.
it's good to have that. We need more of that.
Well, I just don't know if I agree or not. I mean, I could see it though because it's probably more subconscious. you know, because it's kind of like that shit where it's like, you know, you ever heard where like if you have a pet, if it's a female, sometimes it'll get along with like the male members of the household better, and if it's like a male cat, it'll get along better with the female.
Oh, right.
So maybe it's something like that where it's like it's not even anything really like that you choose, you know.
Yeah, it's just like a nature thing.
Yep.
What did you mention the last one? Because it got me thinking about.
What did I say? Drake.
Drake, yeah. Well, it made me think of Doja Cat. You know Doja Cat?
Yep.
I fucking love Doja Cat. Plus, I'm like, yo, she's a fox.
Yeah.
But I'm like, she can rap too.
For sure. And she's funny and she's smart, and I'm gonna marry her.
Damn right you are.
Yeah,
I'm gonna live vicariously through you.
I mean, now is she next on your list?
Yeah, for sure.
That's not bad.
I put her pretty high up there because she's my favorite female artist.
It's crazy how big she's blown up.
Dude, I'm stoked. The first thing I think I ever seen of her was Rules. Have you seen that music video?
Maybe.
She's like wearing like a purple kind of pimpin' looking outfit. She's like a kind of like a pimp in it.
Okay.
But I just love how there's one line she says in it that she's like, bitch, I'm fucking reptilian. And her eyes do the little like, bloop, like
right
reptilian switch. So I'm like, dude, I love how she kind of, even feeds into that world of things where, because people will say that about the elites where they're like, well, Drake's is a reptilian with the Illuminati, and that's why he's rich and famous or something, That's just the way people are. They're like, well, if they're rich and famous, then they've made sacrifices and deal with the devil, and they're,
Or they just know how to budget their finances properly.
Yeah, and to work the system and how you can play into those types of things. And like you say, doing the things that spark people up and make them be like, look at that person's hairstyle. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Or, that guy's wearing a dress. Oh, my God. I hate that guy.
Yeah.
And it just gets people like all fired up, or riffraff, where it's just like anything to get them fired up. Your haters will make you famous.
Dude. I think it's a smart move. Like, I mean, even if you're just somewhat polarizing in some way, like fucking what's his name? Like, can't think of his name. Fucking, I can't remember the song either. Damn it. But yeah, he's just the singer, and he had that one song that blew up. It was like somebody that I used to love, or
Godier or whatever.
No, it wasn't that. It was like god damn it, I can't remember.
Did we talk about him last time?
No, but he just had that one song. It was like kind of like piano acoustic, and he's singing kind of like a ballad type shit, and belting it out.
He's like a producer guy. Did he do the song with Wiz Khalifa?
No, like he just came out recently. He's kind of like, I think he's English or something, but he's just like kind of like a homely looking dude. It doesn't look anything like the voice sounds like,
That's rad.
But that can be polarizing for people, someone that doesn't look like typical like pop star, you know.
Yeah, or look like they expect you to sound.
Like Ed Sheeran, he just looks like a normal dude, you know, average dude you just see at the bar or the grocery store or something.
He can rap too.
Fuck yeah, dude. I mean, shit. What is it my turn? I'll put him next.
Hell yeah.
Dude, I watched it was just a concert of his, but it was just him on stage. He's just I think him and the acoustic and like a loop pedal, you know?
Dude, I love that.
Dude, and I'm like just one person, an acoustic guitar, and then you're just looping it, and you got like thousands of people and you're fucking lighting that place on fire. Like, dude, he's insanely talented.
Dude,
People,
for real.
it's one of those things too. And like I guess it's kind of the whole like lame stream, you know, people say that shit. Like you can't hate something just because it's popular. I mean, I guess you can, but like you're missing out on some shit that like there's real talented people.
And I think that's the ego getting in the way too of like, because obviously we know what it's like to be. Because around here, you know, which I'm planning on now starting to put together shows again. I'm like, I have to do this just to feel good about myself and get back in business and performing again. But around here, it is more of an underground scene, but you can still have a mainstream sound. And ultimately, I'm like, look, I'm trying to connect with the mainstream, like the regular people, you know, that work construction and they're teachers and they're other, you know, they work regular jobs. They're not just the underground rap fans, you know.
Right.
I would connect with them too, but that can't be it, you know.
Right.
And I don't want to isolate it to that, like, we're only underground, you know.
Actually, I'm gonna take Ed Sheeran off because I'll give him the honorable mention because he's not really a
Honorable
rapper,
mention.
but he can fucking rap.
Yeah. And loop, which is the dope thing. Yeah.
Definitely. Shit, I'll go with Joey Badass. Just on like vibe and technical skill. I mean, talk about like just like freestyling and wordplay and shit. Plus he's young, you know, like it's cool to see people like I think he still hasn't even blown up yet, you know.
Yeah, I don't really know Joey Badass that well. Like, I've never dove into his music, I don't think.
Right.
I've just heard, like, a song here or there.
He's dope, man. I've been seeing him pop up more lately, just like on YouTube interviews and shit, you know. Yeah,
He's like from the ghettos and projects, I'd imagine, or kind of from that lower income black communities.
Yeah, I think he's from Brooklyn, somewhere in New York. But yeah,
East
so I mean,
Side.
but yeah, it's just that like that crazy rap shit, you know.
Hell yeah,
Real
dude.
heavy lyrical shit.
Well, yeah, lyrical rap is an important thing, and I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, when we're talking about the East, you know, it makes me think of, well, I mean, that's where Jay-Z came from. Like that New York, Brooklyn. And I never got super heavy into Jay-Z. Of course, I got mad respect for him, and especially what he's done as a mogul. where I'm
Mhm.
like, dude, that's the boss shit too, where it's like, yo, I'm not just a rapper. Like, I'm the boss, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's really where it's at too. Like, that's always been my goal to, especially with the independent music, where it's like, look, man, you kind of want to be the boss of your own shit. Like, to sign up, like we were talking, if you sign on a record label, well, they're gonna dictate what you do, how it's released, when it's released, um,
Yep.
and that's the hard thing. But when I think of the East, it was making me think earlier of like Biggie Smalls, which I love Biggie Smalls, but I would say I actually probably love Tupac more, since they're kind of like, people be like Tupac or Biggie,
Right.
and I love Tupac. Some people ain't really into Tupac, or they'll kind of disrespect him, but I'm like, dude, something about him just is different.
Yeah.
And I like how he was trying to promote like a little more positive stuff too.
Yep.
And
Straight up, man.
so, yeah, Tupac, like people like my uncle be like, man, he's like a prophet. And I'm like,
Mhm.
yo, that's dope. Like when people think of you as that, like some sort of beacon of light in all the darkness or something.
Yep.
That's dope. So I've definitely put Tupac on the list for myself.
I'm gonna have to agree with you, man. I'll I'll put him there too. But
Yeah.
I don't want it to take up a turn, so um let's see. Hmm. I'll go with fucking Wiz Khalifa, man.
Wiz is
That's
dope.
not that's another one where it was like when I was really getting into rap shit on my own, that was one it was just I listened to everything he had constantly,
Nice.
and just oh shit.
You had a light
Uh,
burnout?
yeah, what light was that? I don't even know what light was on.
Huh.
This lamp?
Is it the one behind you? No, it's still on.
No, I think it was this lamp.
Huh.
Yeah, it was weird. Let me fix that because it looks
All right,
all
cool.
dark now.
So yeah, you were talking about Wiz Khalifa being one of your inspirations,
Yep,
or just somebody you really love to listen to.
for sure, dude. Yep, Wiz is the shit.
Well, you know who Wiz Khalifa makes me think of?
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Lion.
Is that who you're gonna say?
Yeah, Snoop Dogg for sure.
Yep.
And I do love Snoop Dogg's rap and his hip hop, because I'm just like, yo, you know, flipping and zipping and tripping, and he's got all the hizzy for shizzies, and he always throws in those
Yeah.
there's something about that old school rap where they would like change words, or they would spell things out like, oh, D-O-double-G, and I'm with the D-R-E,
Right.
which I feel like you don't hear as much nowadays. But not only Snoop's rap and hip hop career, but like the person he is and how he became, in my mind, like maybe not as much of a mogul like Jay-Z, but like a cultural icon.
Hmm.
Where I'm like, dude, you've been making movies, you do voices for like DreamWorks or Disney Pixar characters, you got a show with Martha Stewart. Like,
Yep.
okay, you're like you're above and beyond. Like, and I feel like Snoop Dogg would be the type of person that like one day I could like I don't know why, and you call me crazy, but I'm like, yo, I could make a song with Snoop Dogg one day. Like, I think he's that cool of a person
Mm-hmm.
that he'd be like open to that. You know, I don't think
Right.
he'd be like, man, I'm too good for you. I'm fucking Snoop Dogg. Who are
Right.
you? You know, I just don't feel like he's
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
that totally. I don't know, but
I mean, if you hit that number,
I don't know. That's a goal for sure.
for sure, dude.
Yeah, I remember, Illustuminati did a graphic design for Snoop Dogg,
Right.
and I was like, whoa, dude,
Mm-hmm.
that's dope.
That is dope.
And so that's the cool thing about the hip hop culture too, is how people can connect like that, where it's like you could be like even when I've reached out as like a low level independent unknown person, and you reach out to somebody that's well known, and you can like get a feature from somebody or
Yep.
hire them to put on a concert and be able to connect with them like that. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. Yeah, dude. Snoop Dogg is the shit.
Yeah,
It's yeah. Wiz is like a younger Snoop
he is.
for sure.
And Snoop kind of like picked him up, right? I feel like I'm like, yo, he brought him under his wing and kind of.
Yeah, a little bit, I think, which is dope. And I feel like he's doing kind of he's doing pretty well in that kind of same path of just like, you know, doing all sorts of shit and being pretty smart about, continuing to make money in other ways and thinking
Mhm.
long term and being like businessman too.
Yeah, that's really where it's at too, is being a business person. And yeah, I don't know. Who would you have to say as another rapper?
Uh hmm. How about, man?
Bum, bum, bum. I need like the Jeopardy music.
Right.
It would definitely
Do
get
do
copyright
do do
strike.
do 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 do.
Don't
Right.
even hum it. No.
For real.
They'll catch it.
Um, yeah. Fucking, I don't know, dude. Let's see. I'll go with Killer Mike
Killer Mike. I
from
don't even know who Killer Mike is.
Run the Jewels. Um, yeah, he's dope.
I've
Run
never
the
really
Jewels is
listened to
dope.
Run the Jewels much.
They're dope. um, yeah, you should definitely check them out, dude.
I
Like,
will. I've only heard like their hits or something. Like, and I don't feel like they're. I think I've heard them on the radio though.
maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, they're more of a. They're not like some really popularized mainstream. I don't think, but I feel like I've heard them.
Hmm. Probably. I mean, some of their shit's pretty like they have a couple songs that are pretty big, but yeah, Killer Mike is dope. He's got a dope voice and a dope flow and real like passionate about like activism and shit, but he's like still sounds dope, you know.
Activism.
Yeah, he's just like kind of like progressive thinking, you know, and seems to be on like the right side of things.
Like with the music or with the things he's doing?
Just about like, I mean, kind of the music, because it's like the things you talk about and the things you think about, you know, and your ideas and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, he's like just he's like thinking about worldly shit, and it's not just like, you know, money and shit.
You know who that makes me think of?
Let me guess. Fucking I can't even think who.
Well, okay, this is the dude that actually inspired me to start independent record label or Soulfire Unlimited.
Oh, Hobson.
Yep.
Right.
And I seen him on 11/11/11 was the date. So
Mhm.
November 11th, 2011.
Right.
And it was right when like Sag My Pants came out.
Yep.
And maybe the Ill Mind of Hobson 3. And I was just like, that's when I realized that, you know, doing things independent, because before that I was like, I need to get a record deal. That's the only way
Yep.
to like get the business going and get the finances up. And then after seeing him, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. And then I started like making beats and putting an album together. And but I think I'm not like the hugest fan of Hobson,
Right.
but I do love a lot of his work because, like you've said, the cultural kind of activism where he'll point all these things out in society where, like, it's kind of interesting how he'll be like, you're all a bunch of fucking idiots.
Yeah, that's that's kind of why I like people like Killer Mike so much, because it's not real preachy, and you're not like it's not it's not conducive to changing people's minds.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if that's what
Oh,
you're trying to
yeah.
do, or like, you know, if you're just trying to point shit out or whatever. I don't know. It's kind of like that Tom McDonald type shit,
What do
or
you think of Tom McDonald?
I don't really like him, man.
Neither do I. Like, I kind of did.
Yeah.
Like, but then it's another thing where, like, when I hear people boasting too much about, I'm doing this all myself independently, fuck the industry, they're trying to screw me over, and then I feel like he uses too much. Like, I feel like he'll be like, I'm going to choose a controversial topic and then just, like, go off on that, which I get it. Like, you're pulling that card.
It's just to me, it's like it just screams trying to be too deep. You know, like saying all these things, and it's like you're, for the way that it comes across, you're acting like you're the first person that has said this shit.
Right.
You know, and there are people that like agree with you. Most people, or not most people, but you know, like tons and tons of people think those same things. Like we all live here too. Like we see how shit goes down, you know. And like I get it to be like mad about it and want to do something, you know. So, you know, maybe there's something. I try to find stuff about people that, because I'm kind of doing the same thing, like where I just see someone, but I think there is something to that. Like he could be doing that exact thing, but he could be doing it way better just by making better music or better use of language, you know, and like even psychology, like, you know, but yeah, it's like it's
Yeah,
not my kind
and
of shit.
there's a few of his songs that I thought were interesting, like the cloned rappers one. Like that was another one where I was like, well, he picked a good topic that is like a big buzz happening right now.
Right.
And I like the way they put it together. Like him and his girlfriend, I like that they got like this thing going on where it's like she'll like make the music videos and they kind of got that going on where they like that's what it seems like to me, but then again, I don't know because there's a lot of people that will, they call them industry plants
Right.
where they're like, "Oh yeah, they put on this persona like they're independent, but they really have like some shadow uh company backing them up, like putting money into it, making sure that it gets out to a lot of people, and he'll kind of play into that whole thing of um like the Illuminati stuff where
Right.
it's like again with the independent versus major industry where it's like I could never tell. I'm like, well, he makes me feel like he's like a puppet or something. Sort of. I don't know why.
Right.
He like
Yeah.
walks that wire.
Right.
But
Yeah.
oh, and the other thing that kind of gets me, which is kind of weird, and again, with the partier to sobriety, like that can be an inspirational thing, and so it is interesting how his brand is the Hangover Gang,
Yep.
but he's like a sober. So it's like
Right.
kind of interesting to be like, oh, I'm a sober person and my whole squad is a hangover gang, which is a little confusing. Um, but yeah, that's the only other tidbit I had to say. Nothing against Hangover Gang or Tom McDonald. Like I think he's good at what he does. It's just not really my cup of tea.
Yeah, I don't think he's that good at it.
He fucking sucks.
No, I mean, like obviously he's talented, but yeah, I don't
Yeah.
like it.
No,
I'm
I
a
did at
hater.
first. At
Hmm.
first I did, and then I was like, okay, nah. Which uh, I hate to say it, but is kind of how I feel about Machine Gun Kelly nowadays. I mean, you like Machine Gun Kelly?
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't really care. Like he I'm liking him kind of less the more I find out about him. I feel like,
Like, I really loved him. Like,
yeah.
especially when he was like coming up, because I was like, dude, he's just a kid coming up, and he's
Hmm.
rapping fast, and I like what he's saying. And of course, me being a fan of like rock music, of course, I think it's cool when he start playing instruments and stuff like that. But it was kind of weird to make how he made like a total shift
Right.
into just like the pop punk and a total shift into well with his last project being mainstream sellout where I'm like it's kind of weird how you made a total shift into like you were this kind of punk rocker and now you're like I don't know, like a super fashionista, like almost like a product of the machine.
Right.
And I guess that's just a big turnoff for me.
Hmm.
Where it's like, like if they say the thing of like the sold your soul thing, where it's like you used to be one thing and now you've become something different. I don't know.
We should save this for our top 10 least favorite rappers.
Okay, yeah. So skip that. I'm gonna let you go now.
Okay.
But he used to be in my top 10,
Yeah. I
and then he
mean,
fell off it, which is weird. You know?
yeah. So we'll see how this list changes, over time.
Yeah, for sure.
Um. Ooh, I got one. How about I'm gonna do a 2-for-1. Method Man and Redman.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
And they're cultural icons. Really.
It's crazy how like most rappers are just like pretty good actors.
Yeah.
How does that work?
You're just well, I love how like they make their own movies type of stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like I don't know what it is. I think it's just because when you're a rapper, you're kind of playing that character too. Like it could be who you are. But for me, even when I decided to like be an artist and do like I've always been an artist, but there was a point where I decided to do hip hop music and do rap as well, you know?
Right.
And it almost became like playing a character.
Yep.
You know, when you change your name to like, well, I'll come up with this name now. And you're no longer just you create like another identity and you kind of step into those shoes. So I don't know what it is, but it's weird how you could be an actor, but you're still kind of acting like yourself.
Yeah. I remember thinking that when I was a kid. And I must have been super young. I was like, how does it make sense that because I think I was thinking specifically about Jim Carrey, and like I would watch him and see him like be funny, but I was like, how is he funny if it's somebody else like writing the lines,
Oh,
you
right.
know? So I was like, he's not funny. It's like the person, and it's such a weird thing for like a fucking 6-year-old to think about.
But it's yeah, it is, and it's kind of coming into being. But I guess it's like the demeanor of people, which is the weird thing of like when they fit a role, and that's the thing about like the rap movies.
Hmm.
Like there was the Wiz Khalifa, Snoop Dogg one,
Yeah,
High School, I think,
something.
and Method Man and Redman had the How High,
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
there was
Tupac was in a
another
few.
dude. Tupac was like a real actor.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite movies he was in was called The Grid. Have you ever heard of that one?
No.
He was like played like a junkie on the streets,
Right.
and but yeah, I don't know how it is because I remember seeing Method Man in The Cobbler with Adam Sandler movie
Hmm.
where
Okay.
it was weird, dude. It was something about like you put on some shoes and you like turn into that person.
No way.
Yeah, and Method Man was like one of the actors in it, but yeah, they're Wu-Tang, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. In my mind, I'm like, yo, they're like the most well-known Wu-Tang members.
For sure, yeah. I mean, um, and ODB.
Yeah. I mean, there's like what, the RZA and all these others, tons really. But you know what's cool about Redman? You know the app Cameo. Have you heard of that?
Yep.
I seen a Redman one. Like, there's a dude on the internet, Patrick CC. Have you heard of him?
Yeah.
He like bought a Cameo from Redman, I think, and maybe was asking some advice on like how, about recording music. And it was dope that Redman like went way into detail
Hmm.
and was like really trying to give advice on, recording and the whole like mixing and mastering. And it's just interesting to think of like, yo, this guy just got, I don't know, $100, maybe more or less, to like sit on his phone and give advice
Yeah.
on, artistry in the industry to somebody he doesn't
Yep.
even know.
Right.
And to be so passionate about it and be like, I'm gonna make sure you're doing this right. Some people be like, yo, I don't really care. All right, later.
Right. Um. Yeah. We're not even keeping track of the numbers.
Yeah, I know. But I guess we could start whittling it down now. We're probably
Yeah,
up
I
there to
think
like the top two.
I'm gonna grab some real quick.
All right.
I'm just right here. I'm gonna pause it.
Well, I'm gonna think of somebody now, and well, I was thinking of Juice World earlier
Okay.
because he can really rap.
Yep.
Like, he'd just go off on freestyles for like so long,
Yeah.
and I like his style of kind of that punk rock, almost like kind of emo-ish, and I don't know. I was just a big fan of his style, I think.
Definitely. Yeah.
So I would put him pretty high up on my list, just because of that. And another one that was like gone too soon,
Yep.
I'd feel like. I mean, there's another person I have in mind too, but I'm not gonna say it yet. I'm gonna let you go.
All right. Let's, I mean, that's a good one for sure. I don't know how I didn't think of that yet. Um, hmm. Let's see. How about Ludacris?
Nice. Ludacris is
Speaking,
dope. Another cultural icon.
yeah, speaking of being in movies,
Yeah, dude.
um,
Hustle and Flow. That was a good one he was
um,
in.
was he in that?
Yeah, he played like the rapper
Oh,
that
that's right.
like made it from the hometown.
But he was like a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's like threw that dude's demo in the toilet,
Right.
but he like OD'd on junk or something.
Yeah. He was in the Fast and Furious
Mm.
movies too.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just put him because I couldn't really think of anybody.
Well, he's from the South, which there's a bunch of people I've left out from the South that I do want to mention,
Right.
which would be Lil Wayne,
Yep.
because I'm just a super big fan of how he was so young and like he can rap like crazy and his vocabulary is crazy and he'll play with the auto tune, and he'll play guitar, even though people be like, "Fuck, he sucks." I'm like,
Yep.
but he loves to play the guitar. Like he's like, I'm gonna pick up a guitar, I'm gonna make a rock album, and he skateboards. And again, people be like, he sucks at skateboarding. I'm like, dude, he just loves to skateboard. You know?
Yeah.
And so those are some of my reasons that I love Lil Wayne.
For sure. That's another good one. So what is that, who you pick?
Yeah. I mean, I have some more Southern rappers I'm going to mention here,
Right.
but I'm going to throw them all in kind of like a bundle.
A bundle.
Yeah.
A rapper bundle.
Yeah.
Let's see. How about I mean, I'll put Biggie.
Nice. Another icon, really.
Yeah, I'd put Tupac too. But yeah, Biggie is just he's just had his own sound from the jump. You know, like nobody sounded like that really.
His voice, you can like tell it's Biggie by his voice too.
But just the way he rapped too, like it was like that. He like found his flow and just yeah. It's pretty like you see people that are like, you know, it takes time to find their sound or their sound evolves, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it'd be interesting to see like because him and Tupac, that you know, Tupac was like 26 or something when he died.
I thought he was still alive.
Probably. Could be.
Could be.
Him and Biggie.
Could be, yeah.
I mean,
when you get that big, you might just want to hide away.
How big? How old was Biggie when he died?
I would imagine probably in his 20s too. I don't know.
Right.
24 years old. Dang, you'd be looking like Eazy-E right now.
Hell yeah.
Another, I would say those guys were definitely cultural icons, like Eazy-E, Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, with that whole,
you
know.
See, it is cool coming up with shit off the top, but there's some shit that I'm not thinking of, and then I'm like, God damn it, how did I forget about Lil Wayne or whoever, you know?
Well, you know, I think everybody else is gonna enjoy to just listen to this because like people that are into rap and our favorite rappers or least favorites, you know.
Right.
Because there's some that I'm surprised you haven't mentioned yet, and they might not be your favorites.
No, I'm trying to think of what you're thinking. I'm thinking, or not thinking. Fuck. Who? Just say it.
The Suicide Boys.
Oh yeah. See. Okay. Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna wear these because these lights are fucking with my eyes, dude.
You look way cooler too.
I had to leave work the other day because I don't know, dude. I got something, dude. I got a crazy, like, my whole body's aching and my head hella congested. I'm feeling it. But yeah, I had to leave work the other day.
Or just
No, I don't think so. I think it's just cold going around or something.
Right, yeah. My son got a little something.
Yeah, dude, I had to leave work the other day because my fucking nose and my eyes was watering so bad. Like, So yeah, these help.
You're like, I want to commit suicide. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
But Suicide Boys, I thought it was cool how they created kind of their own. To me, that's when that whole. I heard more of the like dirty, gnarly 808s.
dude. Yeah, Suicide Boys. When I first heard them, I was just. It was just crazy to me to see some shit like that. Um, it actually inspired me to make like the first project that I put out. And
Nice. All
I
Hollows
mean,
Tide. That one.
yep. And so yeah, they're super dope, man. Fucking Scrim is dope. Like it's just there's some rappers that you like more as people, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And of course, you know, you could be like, oh, this person is more talented or he's more like legendary, he has more impact or whatever. Um yeah, when you just weigh it all together, you know, and like, yeah, Suicide Boys for sure for me. I spent a lot of time listening to them.
Nice. Well, they kind of got me thinking of this artist that it's not really one of my favorite rappers totally, but like you said, people in a weird
Yeah.
way. It'd be XXX Tentacion,
Mm-hmm.
where when he first was coming out, I was like really didn't understand him and kind of was like, what? Like, what? But his music was so like like again would have that dirty, gritty 808 sound,
Yeah.
and he almost like I don't know, his raps were like different, or he would be kind of like some of his songs kind of like a little melodic singing, but I think it was his whole idea and ideals behind what he's doing
Yeah.
that was captivating.
For sure.
So I mean that's what got me about him.
Yep. Yeah, dude. I mean, jeez, I almost just died.
Don't die.
um, yeah, dude, fucking a few of those that you said already would go on my list. I feel like it's about 10.
Yeah, I have a few more I just mentioned real quick.
Nope, we're done.
All right, see you later.
Bye, guys.
um, of course, like the southern artists, I have to
Right.
say that like um Yellow Wolf
Oh
was
yeah.
a big inspiration and influence to me as far as I thought his shit was dope at first, but then once he started to get a little more into the country and his style changed from kind of like a gangster look to more of the outlaw country. So yeah, I'm a fan of all those guys like Yellow Wolf, Bubba Sparks, Struggle Jennings, Jelly Roll. That kind of some would call it hick hop, some hate the word hick hop. Um, and I kind of got into Upchurch for a while, and then I lost interest in him.
I never checked them out.
Like I thought he was dope, like because he could rap fast and sing. And at first I kind of thought he was like funny, but then I just lost interest with like the person he is because I don't know, like he'd always get like so angry about things where I was like, dude, is this guy jacked up on Adderall or something?
Right.
And again, with the whole thing of like I don't know, when egos get so big and people are like, I'm the first to do this or I'm the best at this, but his fan base is like crazy. Like they would like, if his shows were canceled or sold out and they couldn't get there, they would like destroy the town.
Dang.
Yeah, so I am a fan, but it's weird how I became kind of like a big fan and then like kind of just totally lost interest, which is weird.
Yeah, dude. It's um
Even like Kasky too. I don't know why.
yeah. Mm-hmm. For sure, man. I love shit like that. Like Caskey's dope because
I
he's
really like
like
Kasky.
he's just kind of like low key about it, you know. He's not like that's kind of what I don't like about like the fast rap and shit.
Hmm.
Dude, you're trying too hard. And not even that you're trying too hard, but you're trying something that doesn't really sound that good.
Well,
You
when
know,
it
like,
all becomes that.
well, it's not even that really. It's like you got to know how to use it, you know? Like if you can rap fast, doesn't mean you always have to, you know? Like it's just like, you know, it's knowing when to use it and when not to use it. And I don't even think it should be used all that much just because people fucking overuse it so much and like or or you just got to know how to make it sound good like to the ear like musically, you know, like a lot of that fast rapping shit just it sounds like just like one string of syllables all the same note same it's just kind of boring, you know, like
Well, you know, something that makes me think of the total opposite of that is a couple other artists that like, okay, first of all, like Afro Man. He's so like, he's like a slow rapper, you know?
right.
And what I really love about Afro Man is how obviously the first thing I heard was Because I Got High.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Journey, what are you doing back there?
Mm-hmm.
And then so it was like funny, but
Right.
what I think is cool about him is how some of his stuff is still just like ghetto
Right.
and simple. And I think that's what I love where it's like, oh, he's not even too worried about making it all like supreme and
Right.
spectacular. Like it'll be a ghetto video. It'll be a ghetto sounding song. And um but somebody else I want to mention that's kind of along that slow rap line, and some people might not even say he's a rapper. But are you familiar with Everlast at all?
For sure. Yeah.
I think he's probably one of my biggest inspirations because he'll play like the acoustic guitar. What's up, son?
Yep.
And, you know, with beats. So when I was getting into the hip hop world, I didn't want to lose my guitar playing, you know. Like I loved making beats and having some rap to it, but always wanted to still play guitar.
Yep.
And Everlast is one person that is on my list of people that I would love to collaborate with one day.
Definitely. Everlast is dope. He's been on the Joe Rogan podcast a few times.
Oh yeah, dude, I gotta listen to that one again.
He's been on like 4 times or
What?
5 times.
Oh, geez, I'm gonna have to listen to them all.
Um,
I mean, my
yeah,
list is
he's
probably
dope.
done personally. I don't even know if I can think of anybody else right now.
Um, I mean, for sure, tons more is like,
Cardi B.
um, Bones,
Bones is dope.
kind of along the same type of music as Suicide Boys, you know. Um,
What about ICP?
ICP is dope, dude. Like, I used to hate on him. My brother's a huge Juggalo. You know, he's like way into them. He's got the fucking tattoo and everything.
Dude, what they've done for their they created a whole culture.
For sure, man. You can't hate on it. Like, and it's a pretty inclusive culture. Like anybody could be part of it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's all about. Is just like, let your freak flag fly, and as long as you're, and for sure there are some shitty people that ruin it, but
Well, and they're from Detroit, which makes me
mhm.
think of another person I didn't really mention yet, but I should. Some people like, he ain't really a rapper, but
Big
you know,
Sean. Just kidding.
no, but Big Sean is dope as well. But I never really dove into Big Sean.
Right.
Um, but Kid Rock, I've definitely
Oh,
dove into,
uh-huh.
and I think I've always liked Kid Rock in a sense because he was like rap, rock, metal, country, and I just like that he like was able to do that. Another cocky, big ego. That's like, I'm the baddest motherfucker on the planet, you know.
Right.
But yeah, I don't even know if I can think of any more people right now.
um hmm let's see. I mean, yeah, dude, I don't know.
Is there any people?
It's got to be about 10 anyways.
Oh, for sure, it's probably 50. If
I
there's
mean,
any
yeah.
people that you could like a dream collaboration or people that you would like love to collaborate with, is there anybody that comes to mind for you? Are they probably
For
on the
sure,
list?
dude.
You know.
I mean, Drake for sure. If you get a Drake collab and it actually comes out, it's like it's gonna be big,
And it's gonna be badass.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it wouldn't even come out if it wasn't a good song. So, like, if you happen to get a collab and it happens to come out, that's the dream for sure. Um, I mean, tons, dude. Like, yeah, there's so many people I want to work with.
Yeah, I'd love to do some with Riff Raff, just cause I'm like, yo, dude, he's like an alien, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And I like the weird ones.
For sure. I
What
feel
about
like
NF? I was thinking about him earlier too. What do you think
I
of
don't know.
NF? He's not one
I
of
don't
my
know.
favorites. Again,
I don't
it's
know. I just
like
don't know.
it's interesting. Like he's like a fast rapper, but he kind of has this weird, like sad, depressing, angry thing that I'm not really that into. But it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, he's got his style.
Yeah, dude.
Logic. He lives out here in Montana now.
Yep. Yep. I just I just talked to him the other day.
Oh, you guys were making a new song together?
Mm-hmm. Yep. He was over here at my
Mm.
apartment.
Oh, you made him some dinner?
Yeah. And I was like, dude, you gotta be fucking quiet, bro.
You guys playing some
This
Mario Kart?
Yep. Yep.
Nice. You got the
Straight
Switch,
up.
don't you? No. You don't have a Nintendo Switch, do you?
I did, but I sold it because
Oh,
I
you did.
never fucking play it.
Hmm. Well, recently I've been, I guess our list is probably done, but before I let you go, I was going to talk to you a bit about how I'm going to get back into putting on some shows.
Mhm.
I know I've been talking about it for a while, and I've been like, I don't know if I'm ready to do this again. I want to do it right. But I'm like, I just have to do it. And, of course I've been thinking, I'm like, yeah, sure, I can book like shows, like play acoustic by myself or get a band together and play at like the bars or whatever. But I don't want to do that so much as, I've been thinking about getting a hold of a bunch more like community centers or like Eagles where you can often like rent a room and
Yep.
put on a show up with lights and sound if I need to, and even a stage if I have to, and still give the opportunity to some other hip hop artists in the areas.
Right.
So, what are your thoughts on that?
On setting up shows.
Yeah, getting back in the game.
I mean, I don't see why not.
Yeah, I was mainly just thinking about around Montana right now. What do you think about up in your area? I remember you were talking about one of the Eagles places.
Yeah, there's a spot that Busty Bennett actually they rented out for New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this paintball place, Montana Paintball, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And dude that I work with, I think he knows the owner there, but they put on music stuff out there sometimes,
Nice.
which it's not like a venue, I don't think,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a spot.
Nice. Well, yeah, I guess that's kind of been what I'm thinking about doing again is, just, even if it's like renting some space, getting some of the locals together to have a party. I mean, obviously I'm sober now, but if there's other people drinking and whatever, but I do want to provide almost some like all ages type shows that, even like high school kids or people from like 18 to 21 can go to,
Yep.
and just try to, obviously it's like, oh yeah, but the goal is to be like, yo, I'm trying to get like 50 to 100 people out here.
Right.
Obviously getting like 20 people together at a show is, definitely doable, but I'm like, well, 50, pack the place out. It's always the goal.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's pretty doable. And I do love the hip hop culture, especially making beats. With us being producers, it's like our goal is also to find all these artists that want to buy our beats
Yep.
and giving them the opportunity, because I feel like they don't have a lot of opportunity to perform.
Right.
And, I feel like there's some things that I could show some of the artists where it's like, I'm pretty experienced. I've accomplished some things. There's always more to accomplish, but, definitely don't want those other artists in the area to be like a hater towards me and be like, man, fuck that guy. Like, want him to be like, yeah, man, he's cool. I like what he's doing. He's trying to help us out
Hell yeah, man.
and build the culture up, because ultimately I'm like, this is my business too. Like, I want these people to be on my side. I don't want to make people feel excluded,
I don't even think you got to worry about it.
You know me, man. My head's always thinking too much about things.
Yeah, like you're good, bro. I don't even think that's of any concern.
Cool. Well,
And if it is, then fuck them.
yeah, true that. Well, I'm going to be working on that and starting to put some stuff together to get back out there. Hopefully September is what I was thinking, because I thought maybe around the back to school time might be a good time.
Right.
I figure, especially if I'm going to try to connect more with the, and it's weird, like high school audience, because people might think that's kind of strange, but when I was in high school, there was shows to go to. And I feel like there's a lot of these kids that are in high school too, or college, that they might want to be a rapper or a music producer. And they're like, I don't want to go to college, I want to be a rapper. Or whatever, you know? But
Right.
who are they going to have around here that's going to kind of show them the ropes? Or somebody that's already been doing it. Obviously, there's tons of guys that have been around doing it, like putting on shows. And it makes me think of Nickel B, who I've still been trying to get on the podcast. Hopefully one day he gets on here and chats. But I'm like, he's one of the only active other dudes like putting on shows regularly, giving people an opportunity to perform.
Right.
But like you say, or like I've said in the past, there's like these different communities of artists that kind of have their clique. That sometimes I'm like, I can't even get in with your clique. I can't even get like much time of day from these people. And I don't know if it's like a competition thing or if it's because we're not in cahoots.
Right.
So then I just like brush it to the side and I'm like, well, whatever. I don't have to worry about getting in with another clique of artists. I got to worry about the audience. I don't have to worry about it, but I need to focus on the audience.
Yeah.
So be focused on building the audience again, not only for the music, but for the podcast, because I do believe they go hand in hand.
Fucking A, bro.
Well, then we had another good chat. I think it was an awesome podcast.
For sure, dude. Yeah. A little earlier this time.
Yeah, next time I'm going to try it even earlier, like 9 o'clock.
I'm for sure up. I got up at like 5 today.
Yeah, I was just up hella late last night. My wife was doing airbrush at like a fireworks show.
Right.
So she didn't get back home till like 1 or 2, and I wanted to wait up for her to get back.
Yep.
But yeah, bro. Next time we'll have to try a really early one, have a cup of coffee,
Yeah.
and get after it. Well, thanks for the chat.
For sure, dude. Yeah.
Hopefully your
maybe this
health gets
time-
better here. Your sickness wears off.
I know, dude. Yeah. I'm fighting it off. I've been pounding the vitamins and
Nice.
just resting up, man.
Take a
Yeah.
hot bath.
Right.
Just let your sweat it out.
Straight up.
Uh.
Yeah, dog. Yeah.
Well,
Good
I'll let
shit,
you
bro.
know about some of my ideas for booking some shows, because I'd like to get up in your area. I never get out there. So
Right.
we'll see what
That'd
we
be
can
dope.
make happen.
Hell yeah. All right.
All right, brother. And to anybody else out there listening, thanks for listening. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let us know if you enjoyed it. Let us know who some of your favorite rappers are. Let us know in the comments if we sounded like a bunch of fools and we left people off the list, or if some people shouldn't have been on the list. And let us know what else you'd like to hear us talk about.
That's right. Let us know.
Yeah, here soon we're gonna hit 60 podcasts. One day we're gonna hit 100 podcasts, and then I think people will actually start listening.
Yep.
They'll be like,
Well,
wow, they did
I
100.
listen.
Hopefully the
I
audio
listen
sounds
to our
better.
podcast.
I turned up my mic more.
Okay. Well. Yeah, and I got the AirPods working.
Yeah, so I still messed up the intro, but I'm gonna get better at clicking the little sound
Yep.
thing.
For sure, dude. Yeah, we're getting there.
But right now I'm gonna click the little end the video.
Clicky.
All right. Click it or ticket.
Bye
All
bye.
right. Bye-bye. Oh, wait. Whoops. Wrong click.